Okay, in this video, I'm going to show you how to write an equation following that exponential growth model and use it to estimate the population in a different year. So for this equation, we're going to use this PERT equation, but sometimes in the book or on the test, it'll be written like this, but it's the same thing. This is just the new amount, and this is the original amount right there, that n sub o and n sub t. So it doesn't matter what variables they use. Sometimes if you're talking about bacteria, it'll be a b of t and b sub o. It doesn't matter, okay? So let's take our information, organize it here. We've got a population of 36,500 people in the year 2020. And then you're told in the year 2025, the population is 38,200. So we're going to start with our original amount being 36,500. So that's my P times E to the R. We don't know the R. We're going to have to find it. And then we're going to plug in this information. So we really don't have to use the 2020 in our equation, but we're just going to realize that's sort of like our 0. We're going to use that as 0. So that means we're going to use this as 5 because I don't want to plug in 2020. Okay, so that means in 5 years, so when t is 5, my new amount is 38,200. So you sort of plug in the new year as if you're using the formula, and then you solve back for your R, okay? So the first thing we're going to do is divide by 36,500. And you can divide that on your calculator. It's probably going to be a messy decimal. So let's do 38,200 divided by 36,500. And yeah, we get this big long decimal. So I'm just going to leave it like this for now. And we're going to take the ln of both sides. So we want to do ln of this and ln of that. So I have the ln of whatever that decimal is. So I'm just going to leave it as 38,200 divided by 36,500 is equal to the ln of 5r. Oops, e to the 5r. It's kind of important to have that e in there. Now the reason we did that is so that we can take this variable that's up in the exponent and bring it down. So now the ln of this thing is equal to 5r times ln of e. And ln of e is equal to 1, so 5r times 1 is just 5r. So I'm going to put this back in here. Okay, so now I just need to divide by 5 to get my r alone. Okay, so now punch this in your calculator. So the ln of 38,200 divided by 36,500 is about 0.0455. Then I'm going to divide that by 5. And so I get 0.0091 is equal to my R value. Okay, so now I can plug that into this formula and say A, my new, oops, zoomed in a lot here. A is equal to my original amount, which is 36,500 people, times e to the 0.0091 t, because I used my information to find that rate. So now I'm going to use it to estimate the population in 2035. Well, 2035, whoops, would be 15 years later. So I'm going to plug in 15. So 36,500 times e to the 0.0091 times 15. And then remember, when you start that exponent, you have to end it at the end. Like you want this whole thing included in your exponent. So 36,500 times e to the power of 0.0091 times 15 gives me a new amount of 41,838 people. Okay, so that's how you make an equation when you're given information.